Liverpool playing a crafty little transfer game with Newcastle United here, are they? With Ekitike and Alexander Isak. I'll explain what I mean by that. But obviously Liverpool, according to Fabrizio Romano, have got a 120 million bid ready to go for Alexander Isak. Waiting for that nod. Everybody's then asking the question, with Newcastle advancing with Ekitike, does this mean that it's going to be Ekitike and Isak? Or is Ekitike and this massive bid that Newcastle are going to have to put in, which we're going to talk about in a moment, going to be needed to be funded by Isak being sold to Liverpool? Are Liverpool snookering? I'm backing Newcastle into a corner here with this transfer. This is Football Talks. We're going to go through this as your update today, along with everything else that is circulating around the Premier League and everything that's going on in the transfer market. Get your comments in below if you're a Newcastle fan, if you're a Liverpool fan. Do you think, first of all, this is the question coming from this, because this is where we're actually at right now. So apparently, Hugo Ekitike only wants Newcastle. Liverpool are confident if they go in significantly for Ekitike, they can get him. Liverpool have also got that big bid ready and waiting, a massive British transfer record for Alexander Isak to go to Anfield. By the way, if that happens, game over for everybody else. Scary times. But that bid is ready. Now, if you look at Newcastle's stance on this, Newcastle fans, you must be thinking right now, are we about to lose Alexander Isak because we're buying Ekitike? Now, apparently, Newcastle have got the money and they can have both of these players in their side. Their new financial PSI year, which has kicked into gear from the 1st of July, this term around has given them a little bit more financial freedom than they have previous years. Obviously, richest club in the world with their owners, but hampered by financial fair play. But this summer, they can spend a bit more. So, they've already bought in Anthony Elanga. If they go and get Ekitike and keep Isak, then game on for Newcastle this season. But there's that little bit at the back of the minds of everybody looking in on this one going, is this just because Isak is going Liverpool? Now, we've always heard that Isak would have to tell Newcastle he wants out. Newcastle don't want to sell Alexander Isak. I think that's fair. Best strikers in the league by a mile. Brilliant player. And you don't want to lose a player in his prime like that. If Liverpool get their hands on him, it's going against Newcastle because Newcastle are trying to claw that gap back. Look, they qualified for the Champions League, albeit quite luckily on the last day of the season after United beat Aston Villa. You're welcome for that, Newcastle fans, by the way. But still, they're in. And they're looking to solidify their place. They don't want to be giving their rivals, or one of their biggest rivals in Liverpool, their best player in Alexander Isak. So, again, Liverpool, with all of this financial clout and all of the room that they've got with the money available to them from not spending anything last summer and then entering a new financial year as well, honestly, it's scary and exciting at the same time, I think, for Newcastle fans with this one. But Liverpool, very, very confident that, and this looks how it's laid out for me. It's like, okay, if you don't give us Alexander Isak, we'll buy Ekitike, because Liverpool are confident that if they go in for Ekitike, they will get him. They are just standing by and letting Newcastle do all of the talking at the moment. And just this afternoon, Florian Plettenberg has actually come out and said that there has been advancements in negotiations between Frankfurt and Newcastle. And that first bid that was rejected, around the €70 million mark, they're expecting another bid on top of that. So a fresh approach from Newcastle for Ekitike is due to come in now. So this just then makes it even more interesting, and everyone's watching. I don't think the Saudis and the ownership of Newcastle are there to be toyed with. I don't think they're going to take Liverpool just waiting in the wings and coming in for Isak just so they can balance their books and bring Ekitike in. I'm not being funny. Ekitike is not Isak. If you're putting Ekitike alongside Isak in the Premier League, and then you've got Anthony Elanga, you've got Anthony Gordon as well, and everyone else that Newcastle have got behind that, you're looking at a very, very good Newcastle side for next season. One of the fastest forward lines in the European football you could add as well in that. But losing Isak, even with Ekitike, I'm sorry, that weakens Newcastle. An unproven striker coming in, as good as Ekitike has been this season, he's had an alright season. He's not Isak, and you cannot replace Isak with Ekitike and expect to compete at the same levels. I'm sorry. Good signings, Ekitike and Elanga, but the unexperienced player in him, I think if they do keep Isak and it's Ekitike, then Newcastle move on. I think if Ekitike is the only one there and Isak's sold to Liverpool, Liverpool have already won the league straight out with that signing on top of what they've already got, and Newcastle probably lose ground and drop out of the Champions League for next season. That's how big a deal this is. Ekitike is not 100% ready for the Premier League. I think he's going to a good club in Newcastle here that's already organised, and Eddie Howe will get the most out of him. We've seen that with every player that he's took in under his wing at Newcastle there. So confident that Ekitike will do well, but you've got levels and then you've got levels. Ekitike is here and Isak is there, and if they lose Isak, then I'm sorry, you're going backwards even with the signings that you've made. And I think everybody can see that. You cannot take that many goals out of your side and expect to still be in the Champions League the following season. Now, Liverpool are sat back just laughing at the moment, and that's the annoying thing for the rest of the league, knowing that they have got everything they've got done already, and I just sat back waiting for everybody to negotiate their own little deals and just put a nice little tidy 120 million aside just to go in for Alexander Isak. And if they say no, they'll just go, all right, we'll take the cheaper option of Ekitike there and we'll add him in the middle of Florian Wirtz and Mo Salah. Oh my God, like like I said before, there's levels of strikers, there's levels of transfer windows. Every time someone does something in a window, you think, oh, they're actually catching up here, they could have a chance. Then Liverpool just go, nope, we're going to do this. And then you are going to be a million miles away from us yet again. It's like, for instance, Arsenal. Noni Madueke, getting him done, going for Eze, going for Gyökeres. I'm thinking, oh, Arsenal could be pushing here. And then Liverpool, bang, like I said, yeah, we've bought Florian Wirtz. We've already got Mo Salah, and we're going to add another striker into the middle there and have that much depth in our squad. It's like, okay, yeah, all right, never mind. Let's just give it to Liverpool now. Look, I'm not saying that Arsenal are not going to compete, City are not going to compete, but at the moment, even with the amount of work that Arsenal and City have done, it's going to take this one signing for Liverpool for everyone just to go, oh, crap. It's just going to be Liverpool's season again. That's just how it feels. That is honestly how it feels right now. But we will see. Let's see how this develops now going over the next few days. But this is moving fast. This is moving very, very fast. So I think Newcastle, want to get Ekitike in and just done. And then they can deal with the Isak situation whichever way they want to. But just to be clear again, going off the financials from what I've seen and what's been said, Newcastle don't need to sell Isak. So this is either Newcastle moving forward or Newcastle falling away and helping their rival out in moving further away from everybody else in Liverpool. And that's how this one is going to pan out. We will see what comes in the next few days, but it is really hotting up now. And Liverpool, again, I'm afraid to say for the rest of the league, are standing head and shoulders above everyone else right now. And it's going to be difficult to dethrone them. That's all I'm saying. If this carries on this way, I think they're getting better and better. And that is the concern in all of this. Newcastle, let me know what you think about this. Both or just one? Which way is it going to go? Everyone else, get in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button as well if you're loving the constant updates here on Football Talks. And of course, make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well. I'll see you all in the next video.